Madam. Hi, baby. Hi. Hello. Hey, baby. Hi, welcome to another video. Peepo is here to help me welcome you all. I've been deep in You Are Impossible, and I love you so much. I have been deep in what I have very fondly been calling Pouch Town, because I have actually, it will have happened the day you're watching this. It will have happened a few days beforehand, but I'm having a one-of-a-kind shop drop on my Patreon. I will be having more of them in the future, so if you want to join my Patreon for future ones, the option's available to you. I'm having a one-of-a-kind drop on my Patreon, which basically means that I'm just selling a bunch of handmade stuff that I've made. So I'm selling like ceramics and things, and I'm also selling pouches. I'm selling lots of pouches. I'm selling some like crochet pouches. I'm selling patchwork pouches, and I've been having the time of my life. It has been so much fun. I've been having the time of my life. It's been so much fun sewing everything. But my next conquest, my next fabric conquest that I've been wanting to figure out is dice bags. For those of you that don't know, I really like Dungeons and Dragons. I actually just DM'd my first game like a couple weeks ago. I ran a little one-shot for some of my besties back home in Texas, and it was so much fun. Frankly, it went way better than I thought it was going to. It came very easily to me in a way that I was not expecting. I was very pleasantly surprised, and all my friends had fun. So I felt great about myself. I want to run more games, but in a similar vein, I was like, how can I bring my D&D stuff into my current fiber explorations? And I was like, ooh, dice bags. So I decided that I wanted to make my first prototype for my partner Aries, because he was in the game that I ran actually, and it was his first ever 5e game. So it felt very, very special that like I got to run that session for him. I decided that I was gonna make him my dice bag prototype, and I asked him what he wanted, and he told me pepper. So I asked him what he wanted, and he told me
I would like cow print on the outside and then dragons on the inside to protect my dice.
I was basically going through Joanne's website, and I was like, what do you want? What looks good? And he was like, actually, that cow print's really fun. So that's what we landed on. Hello. You mean the whole wide world to me, but I do, can you just, okay. It's all fun and games having an affectionate cat until you have things you need to do. Am I right? You're gonna hurt yourself. I made him this. Let me see if I can close it up a little bit. I made him this little prototype. It's very cute. It was my first one that I made. I made it following a tutorial that I will link in the description below that I found on YouTube from a user named NES, and it's very cute. It has a lot of work that needs to be done. It just had a lot of adjustments that needed to be made. I still thought it was cute, and I like the way that it turned out. Hi, baby girl. So I made this as my second attempt, and this one is much cuter. I love the galaxy pattern inside of the black fabric. I think it's very cool, very epic, very like fun galaxy gay millennial moment. And I also did better on the drawstring channels as well. I did a better job like reinforcing them. But my problem with this one is that I put way too much interfacing in. So the first time I tried to close it, it had a very hard time closing. I also did a little circle of interfacing at the very bottom of the bag because I wanted it to be able to kind of like sit flat. That was unnecessary, frankly. So I added a lot of extra bulk and a lot of extra structure that I didn't need to. The bag looks great. I added top stitching. I added a little like sewn circle on the bottom so that way the dice wouldn't get lost underneath. You kind of have like a designated dice jail. I think it looks really good. Again, the drawstring channel is 1, too close to the pockets, and 2, way too far from the top. So I think that I made the outer circle just too big. So I wanted to cut that in by about like an inch, and then I wanted to move the drawstring channel probably like another ½ inch up from the, yeah, probably like a ½ inch up from the like pockets. But I think it does look much better. But again, I was able to be like, okay, these are the adjustments that I need to make. And so now, kind of as an interim from all of my patchwork pouches that I'm making, I wanted to tackle one more dice bag and see what I can do. I wanted to have a bit of like a cottagecore dice bag moment. So I wanted to do this red on the outside with this really pretty rose on the inside and see how I can make it better. I've got the interfacing that I need. I also have some like templates that I made that I adjusted. I wanted to see if this is like, I wanted to see how the adjustments would make it even better, because this is really cute, but it needs a little bit of work. And also I need to see if I can get better about how I do the drawstring channels, because this one has, unlike the other one, this one has 2 drawstrings, which I think works mostly better, but they can get uneven very easily. So trying to figure out if I like the one in the center or if I like the 2 that you then kind of like pull around. I don't know which one's better, but I suppose we'll find out. I think I should probably just go ahead and start with marking out stuff on the, Can I help you? Can I go now? I mean, like, I'm doing the intro for the video, so I was thinking it could maybe wait like a little bit. I just thought it might be better if I get in sort of at the start of things, you know, before you get like stuck in to stuff. Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah, you can go now. Can you just like let me introduce you properly? Oh yeah, of course. Okay, great. So actually, before we get into the dice bag making, I'm going to send you over to my new desk correspondent to talk to you more about D&D and also the sponsor for today's video. So take it away. Thanks. Thank you so much to Milanote for sponsoring this video. Milanote is an incredible tool that you can use to organize and visualize all of your creative projects. It's like a big corkboard, but inside of your computer. It's really, really incredible. Whether you're working on something alone or you've got a whole team of collaborators with you, Milanote's great for all different kinds of projects. For instance, I'm using it to plan my next D&D campaign. I did just run my first ever game. It was a really quick one-shot, quick and easy, nothing too complicated. But now this next one that I'm doing is actually called The Frozen Sick, and it's a little bit more of a lengthy campaign. It's going to be about, you know, maybe 7 to 10 sessions, depending on how much trouble my party decides to cause. So I'm using Milanote to help me put all the information together. The thing about being a DM, right, is that you have a lot of information that you've got to keep sort of straight in your head. And being a DM with ADHD, that's not an easy feat. Using Milanote means that I can have all the information that I need done up all pretty like. I can have it where it's really fun to look at, and it's also extremely useful. I actually wanted to show you the board that I've been working on. I'm really, really happy with it. It's still a work in progress, but I figured we could get in here. I can show you what I've been working on, and then we can maybe work on one together. If you join me over here on the monitor, I can show you what I've been cooking up. So as you can see, I've got my kind of base board here that sort of tracks my whole journey. I like that I can have little arrows that lets me know exactly where everything's going. One of the things I like about Milanote is the fact that you can add little documents here. Also, sometimes if you type out a bunch of stuff, it will automatically ask you if you want to change it into a document, which is what I did here for frigid woe, which is the disease that is plaguing the village in this campaign. Put this one here, and I'm just going to double check. Yeah, this is Ren. Okay. These links go straight to their D&D Beyond character sheets, but if I have the documents within Milanote, it can be a little bit quicker, and it means I don't have to open another window on my desktop. It means I can contain everything in here. So I was actually going to add this little title. Something that I really enjoy about Milanote is that I can make stuff on my iPad, share it to the Milanote app on my iPad. It syncs pretty much instantaneously and shows up right here in this little from your phone thing. So I can draw cute little headers and stuff. Make this bigger. I'm also going to go ahead and crop this image. Whenever I'm making titles for Milanote, I will tend to just draw everything on the same size canvas because I know that I can just crop it when I bring it in here. I'm going to show you the first board that I made for Croaker Cave. This is for the first quote-unquote dungeon that the party is going to go through. So I've got my cute header, I have my map here, I have my enemy stat blocks inside of this collapsible column, which is very handy. And if I want to look at one closer, I just double click it. This way it lets me know all the different rooms that my players will be going through. I also enjoy these little arrows that you can make from each room of the dungeon, what are their options that they can go through. And so this helps me keep a little roadmap, and I can also like make them different colors and color code them and stuff. It's delightful. I got the inspiration for this entire board from a milanote template. So if we go ahead and click and drag this here, new board, click in here, we go to these templates. They've got so many different kinds. You've got planners, you've got storyboards, project plans. If you go into more templates, they have a whole section about game design, and in here, they have an RPG dungeon map. Basically, I saw this and ran with it for Croaker Cave. So these are all the different rooms with all the different deets for each room, kind of like the big notes. I've actually just taken this stuff straight from D&D Beyond and just kind of copied and pasted it over. Let's go back here and let's go into Palebank Village. Ooh, I actually made a header for this one too. So we're gonna pop this in here. I include the little like story snippet here and more arrows that let me know kind of where the party can be heading, where they should be heading. I have maps here that you can actually draw on, so I can make note of specific areas that I want the party to be looking at. For simpler little drawings, I really do enjoy just using the little draw tool. It just gives a little bit of flavor and pizzazz. And then if we go here, we can click on Tolgi's Cabin. So you can have boards within boards within boards within boards. This is the board I actually wanted to work on with y'all. So Pelk's Curiosities. I went ahead and put some of the most like key stuff that I would want on here. I basically just dragged them into milanote and put them here for safekeeping. Let's see, let's go ahead and get the map out here. Oh, actually, I can upload the image of the map that I made. So you can click here on Add Image. There are a bunch of recommended images that are sourced from Pexels, 3 million free images. But now I'm going to upload mine. And then I can go ahead and enlarge this. Making a new board is a lot of me going back and forth with D&D Beyond, copying, pasting information, pulling out important bullet points, and then figuring out formatting so that I can make something that looks good and also works for my brain. You can also have little color things, which I think is also fun. Create color palettes using swatch cards. Does this affect the style of stuff that I can do? Oh my gosh. You and I learned this together in real time. If you want to have access, oh my gosh. So if I wanted to have access to specific colors for text blocks and stuff, you can just add in little color swatch cards, and then you can just build your own color palette and make everything look exactly the way that you want it to. That is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay. And now I have this very pretty looking board that has all of the data that I need for this entire scene. In one little place. I don't have to go scrolling through the module. I don't have to go flipping through the module by hand. I have the stat block that I need. I have my encounter details. I have the story details. And I also even have the map. Making this is so much fun and makes me very excited to run my game. And I'm just really grateful for a tool like milanote, which lets me take just all of the information that I have to keep in mind as a DM for this campaign and put it all into one place that is easy to navigate through, beautiful to look at, and also means that I can arrange the information in exactly the way that I want to, that works for my little ADHD brain. And doing all of this means that I'll be able to run a really fun game for my players. So, without further ado, milanote is free forever, with no time limit. You can use the link in the description to sign up for yourself and check it out and use it to maybe do your next campaign or whatever other sort of creative, beautiful things you've got brewing in that pretty little mind of yours, yeah? Thank you so much for sponsoring this video, milanote. We really appreciate it. How was that? I think it went rather well. You did good. You did good. Thanks. I thought it wasn't too bad for a first ad read. Oh, actually. Oh, I forgot I need to add that in. Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you in a bit? All right. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna leave. We'll leave them to their little world that they have found themselves in. And let's try and make a dice bag. shall we? So I kind of mentioned this before. I made these little templates out of a shopping bag. So this was the template that I made for my outer circle. I did draw a little line just inside the edge here to see if I maybe wanted to make this a little bit smaller. But now I'm wondering that if I move the draw channel up, it might get rid of my like big overspill problem that I'm having, because I do kind of like how much stuff there is. And if I move it up 1/2 inch, I feel like that might actually be perfect. So I might not cut into this just yet, but I have this, which is for the outer circle of the bag. And then I have this, which is for the inside pocket. And when you lay them over each other comme ça, they like, you know, I think it's a good difference. And then I have this tiny little circle that I made initially to map out the interfacing for the bottom of the bag that I used on the Galaxy bag. But instead, now what it is that it's just for me to mark out with like tailor's chalk to mark out the little circle that I stitch in the bottom of the bag to basically create like the dice jail. So I'm going to draw out all of my circles. What I have to do is that I draw out, I'm gonna try a little bit of a new look this time. Yeah, so we're gonna have red on the outside, and then we're actually gonna have red for the inside of the pockets. And then the roses will be on the inside and will also be the outer part of the pocket. So basically what that looks like is that I cut out one circle of each size in each fabric. So I will have one big circle in this, one medium circle in this, and then one big circle in this, and one medium circle in this. And then I gotta make sure that I cut out my interfacing. I will be using Pelion, is it Pelion? Pellon? I think it's Pellon. Pellon. I'll be using Pellon Shape Flex, which is like a really good lightweight interfacing that just gives things a little bit more structure. So I will probably do that to both sides of the inside of the bag, and then I will probably just do it to one side of the outside of the bag. Or do I want to do it to both? Pepperoni. Why are you such a rascal, huh? My little chicken nugget. That also reminds me I need to turn on my oven so I can make dinner. While Pepper rolls around on my shit, I'm gonna turn on my oven so I can make food. Excuse me. And then I'm gonna cut these out so we can get started on these. I am gonna lose daylight in about, let's see, hello, darling. I'm gonna lose daylight in about an hour and a half. So we'll see how much I can get done. Yeah? Miss Peepo. That's my baby. I will say, as handy dandy as this little wireless mic is, it's not very slay, is it? It's kind of sort of ruins, kind of gets in the way of the fit. Whatever, the things we do for good audio. I've got all my circles cut out. So I've got, like I said, one of each pattern and each size. So I've been toying back and forth about actually if I want to do the roses on the outside, because the roses on the outside would be very cute, but I kind of like with dice bags when it's a little plainer on the outside and then you open it up and it's this like beautiful landscape that your dice get to live in. I also think for practicality reasons that the white would just get dirty really easily. So I'm gonna keep the red on the outside. I need to iron these. They're also not perfect matches, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna iron these and then I'm going to put interfacing on like I talked about yesterday. And then the next thing that I'm gonna do actually is that I was looking at different dice bags on Etsy last night. I was doing some product research as it was, and I realized that I actually don't have to sew the little like holes that the drawstring goes through, because I bought like button thread to like basically sew these little like drawstring openings with. And then I realized that, oh, actually I can just go buy like eyelets and like an eyelet little like hammer situation and just do that. And I was like, oh, that is what I will be doing. It is gonna be a little bit hard because I'm gonna have to do a little more planning. What I did before is that I installed I would sew like the little buttonhole, I guess, like reinforcement after everything was already sewn together. It was kind of like the last thing that I did. But now I will have to do it before I attach the two pieces together. I need to do it before I attach the two pieces together, and then I'm gonna need to make sure that they line up when I am sewing the drawstring channel. So this will be a new design problem. All of this to say, we're gonna go to Michael's. I'm gonna put on some, hi Peepo. I'm gonna put on a little bit of makeup, and then we're gonna go to Michael's. And get that done so that's out of the way. But first I did just reheat my tea, so I'm gonna finish drinking my tea. Peepo, I have my mic on the side that I normally hold you on, so I can't hold you like I like to hold you. You good? Are you a little stinky baby? Are you my little stinky baby? Do you like being held like this? Surely not. Cool, I'm gonna finish my tea and then we're gonna run. I'm gonna finish my tea, iron this stuff, maybe cut out the interfacing. Okay, okay. You'll have to forgive the ambient ticking in the background. I have a burrito in the air fryer. Hang on, let me get so as Pepper and you can see, I have marked out two little spots where I'm gonna cut the fabric, which is where we're gonna put our eyelets. So when you do it by hand like this, without like a little plier situation, you've got to cut the hole in the fabric yourself. Hi, baby girl. I know, I love you too. You are impossible. I know. Hi, baby. I was gone for like an hour. They suggest putting interfacing on the fabric that you're going to use for your eyelets, which is why I interfaced that little scrap piece of fabric. Peepo. Hi, my baby girl. I know. I don't want to use one of my really cute ones. So we're going to use one of the plain ones. So this needs to come through. Yeah, okay, so what I'm gathering is that the eyelet is coming through from the right side of the fabric to the wrong side. So like that. And then I have the washer. And then I'm gonna take the anvil on the bottom side. Oh, I see, so it slots so perfectly in. And then you have the setter, which is like that. So then I just need my mallet. Let's see how this goes. Oops. What? Oh my god, that was so much easier than I thought it was gonna be. Look at that. Holy shit, that's an eyelet. Wow. Wow, I'm so excited by this. Cool. Yeah, I should try one of the little flower ones just to see what it looks like. Okay. Okay, and then we're gonna put the little anchor underneath, or the anvil, which is such a fun name for something like this. Oh, there we go. I hadn't had it where it like fit around the eyelet properly. Yeah, well now that's all bent out of shape. She's cute though, if I can get it to work properly. Okay, let me try a bigger one. Okay, look, I did it. I just realized that before you start hammering, you just have to make sure that the washer fits like perfectly over the back of the little flower. I wish it didn't cause the fabric to pucker around it. Maybe that's a me thing. Maybe if I don't hammer it as hard, it won't pucker like that. But great, okay, well, new skill acquired. Hell yeah. Okay, so now I am taking my two little pocket circles and I am pinning them right sides together. The circles don't perfectly line up, so I'm just gonna do them the best I can. I think I'm gonna be using I might need to change my presser foot. I also need to rethread my machine with red thread, but I think I'm gonna be using a 1/4 inch seam allowance because I like using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we're not gonna be sewing through we're not going to be sewing all the way around. We want to leave a gap because then we can turn it inside out, and then we're going to top stitch it closed. After we do this and we top stitch it closed, we'll be attaching it to the rose lining. So let's see. And of course, we're going to back stitch at the start and at the end. So as you can tell, like the edges don't match up perfectly, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow I'm going to use the interior one as a guide to make sure that it gets on there properly. So I should maybe use a thread bunny, but whatever. You good? Oh dear. I still don't understand bobbin threads. Can someone explain to me bobbin threads? I don't get them. I don't get how they like happen. I don't get how they line up. I don't get it. I just kind of understand it as magic. Ta-da! So now you can see. Looks nice and neat on both sides. My bobbin tension is a little fucky in places, but I'm hoping that's not gonna be, I don't think that'll be an issue. Okay, great, cool. Now I'm going to snip my threads and then turn this bad boy inside out. So now I have my little handy dandy turner tool. So I'm just gonna make sure that pretty much all the sides of this are pushed out as much as they can be. And then I'm gonna press it and also iron it so that the little opening, so that the seam allowance is tucked inside. And then I'm just gonna top stitch with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance all around the outside. I didn't really understand what top stitching was. Top stitching is mostly decorative stitching, but it also helps like keep seams flat, basically. And it just helps things look really, it just makes things look really, really nice, frankly, in my opinion. But look how cutie. She's not a perfect circle, but she doesn't need to be, now does she? Oh, it's so cute. I'm gonna press this on the floor. And Pepper's sleeping now, so she's not gonna get all up in my shit. Look at that lovely, lovely top stitching. Ain't that just gorgeous? As you can see here, I didn't fold the seam allowance in enough so it didn't get caught. Do you know what we're gonna do to fix this? We're gonna use liquid stitch, my best friend, which is just fabric glue. So we're gonna do liquid stitch on that little bit to make sure that that doesn't go anywhere. I'm gonna trim my threads and then we're gonna get ready to attach this to the rose lining piece of our dice bag. Hee hee. There we go. Cool. So now I'm just gonna follow, I'm gonna keep with the red thread because I personally, in my sewing projects, I like it when the thread contrasts a little bit. So I'm gonna stick with the red thread. I'm gonna bring this over to my sewing machine and I'm just gonna follow along these lines. Let's just go and get this started. You know what? I actually don't think that this foot is the best for this job because I'm turning, but we've committed, so we're gonna follow through. To be fair, my little template that I've made is definitely not a perfect circle, so that doesn't line up as beautifully as I would like, but you know what? We do what we can. Why does my bobbin thread always get a little bit fucked up right at the very end? This bit is a little slow going because you just kind of have to do each line one by one. I don't know if there's a quicker way to go about it. I'll try not cutting my thread, where basically I just like backstitch and then I just lift up my needle and then just like move it across. Let's try this out. Okay. Okay, after this one, I'm gonna cut it just so I can see what it looks like on the opposite side. Okay. I guess since I backstitched, these would be pretty secure, so literally all I would have to do would be to just cut this. Oh, so I actually don't have to sever it between each one, so I don't have to like pick it up and start it, because then I could just do this. Okay. Okay, slay. We are learning new stuff every day, babes. Can you believe it? So then on the back here, I can just go snoop and snoop. Oh my God, that makes my life so much easier if I don't have to pick it up between each one. Woo! And then with the little sewn circle at the bottom, we've got a little pocket. We've got a pocket. It's so cute. I like having the lining on the inside of the pocket here, the same side, either like the same color as the outside of the bag or a plain color that like complements it. Are you beginning to see the dice bag vision? We've got one pocket of 6. So I'm going to now do the other 6.
The theme park was pushed back another year with a projected opening of 2000. In December of 1999, Kenny would have been...
Inner part done. Incredible, beautiful, glorious, gorgeous. Outer part. These both also have interfacing on them. I went ahead and added interfacing to both. Gorgina, we're looking so good. So what I'm gonna do, in order to figure out where I want to put my little eyelets, is that I'm going to lay this on top of this, and then I'm gonna basically just feel where the inner pocket circle lies. I'm gonna measure about 3/4 of an inch out and put a little line there, and then I'll just go ahead and pop my eyelets in. And then when I am sewing the drawstring channel, I just have to sew around the eyelets. So after I do that, then I can sew these two together, turn it inside out, top stitch it, and then I'll be able to sew the channel for the drawstring. I'm gonna go ahead and put my grommets in. Then we're gonna stick these bad boys together. We're gonna make some magic happen. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna lay these on top of one another. You can see that these circles do not line up. I did a very bad job cutting them, but if I turn them, there is an angle where they fit together better than others. But you can see that I can see where the pocket ring on the inside lies, or where the pocket circle lies. So if I mark that like this, do we want to do 1/2 inch? So like that's where it would be. I'm gonna do 3/4 of an inch because I'm gonna have to sew, hi Peepo, because I'm gonna have to sew around, because this is where the grommet will sit, and then the drawstring channel stitches will sit around it. So I'm just gonna go ahead, pepper. I'll go ahead and mark this here and here. Let me double check that this is like far enough apart for them, but I think it will be. Usually people put drawstring, like the ends of drawstrings pretty close together. So I think I'm gonna put them right there. And I think we're just gonna go ahead and call it good. right sides together because we're gonna turn them inside out. Great, and now we're gonna pin these bad boys together and then just go around and sew it again. We're gonna leave a little bit open for turning it inside out. Also, again, this is my first time adding eyelets in, so I'm sure this will also be a learning experience. Okay. Ow, ma'am. Your claws are so sharp. Oh, hang on. Oh, we'll cuddle in a little. Oh, I know, my little baby. If we cuddle on the couch for a little bit, will that be okay? Yeah. Okay, just gonna put you down for a second. You just gotta give me a little bit, Pepper, so that I can finish trimming this down. Ooh, baby. Uh-oh, she looks so good. Uh-oh, she looks so good. It looks so good. It looks so good. And then we have our little eyelets right there. I'm gonna finish making sure that all of the seams are like pressed out as much as possible. And then I'm gonna top stitch around the edge. And then we're gonna do our drawstring channel. And then we put the drawstring in and then we're done, baby. Hey. No, hang on. I'm so close to being done. I just have to backstitch. So what I've done is that I have marked where the eyelets are, marked it on this side of the fabric with some blue circles. And then above and below the blue circles, this is also again with a water-soluble marker. Hi, Peepo. I have marked little lines essentially that just denote where the bottom of the eyelet is, or it's like a little bit below the bottom of the eyelet and a little bit above the top of the eyelet. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna go about it. I think I'll be able to find. I think I should be able to just like use my presser feet in order to find the one that gives me the to help me keep a consistent distance from the circle here. I'm gonna finagle that, but. The drawstring channel, it is literally just a manner of encircling the whole thing, because then you just create a little tube inside of there that you can feed the drawstring through. So once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean off the little blue circles, and then I will be able to put in the paracord and we can see what this bad boy looks like all done up, okay? What I could do is measure this distance here with my gauge ruler. And I see that that is 3/4 of an inch. And then what I could do is just go the whole way around. Like this. And then just make sure that I connected each of those points. It's like a little connect the dots moment. Hey, look at you, Cheyenne. Pretty fucking even on this side. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is sew this second line here and then feed the drawstring in through here. And I think I'm just gonna show you when it's done. Oh my God, I'm so excited. The only thing you'll get is this curse on your lips. I hope they taste of me forever, forever. Well, hiya. I was gonna do like a nice big shot to mirror the opening shot of the video, but then I was like, then you're not gonna be able to see the beautiful dice bag that we made. She's so beautiful, she looks so good. She's a little dusty, but that's all right. Here she is. She's so beautiful, she looks so good. She can hold like 10 sets of dice rough. I don't have that many, but she can hold all the dice I own and has room for many more. And I only have like 6 sets. 5. Only have like 5 sets of dice. I think she looks so beautiful. I also learned that if you stick the little, like, I guess the edges of the pockets together, it helps them like stand up more. And so it creates a little bit more of like the pockets to stand up. And the grommets work well. They are a little too small, but they still work out well. I think it turned out really good. I think it looks great. I will say, I did do another one. I made this one with the adjustments that I wanted to make from this one, which basically I made the outer circle smaller. I changed the shape of the way I did the drawstrings. I also changed the size of the grommet and stuff. So made some small adjustments here, but I still think that this one is very beautiful. It's a little coquette almost. I'm just a really big fan of the rose pattern with the red kind of highlighting. I just think it looks so damn good. So, success! We figured out how to make a dice bag together. We troubleshooted, we brainstormed, we learned new skills. I learned how to put in an eyelet, which is really cool. Hey, Peepo. Peepo, are you gonna come say goodbye? Come here. No? Oh. You can be on the table now because there's nothing up here that you can get into. Well, there's some stuff, but not too much. But thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for exploring this new little sewing venture with me. Hi, people. Hi, baby. And thank you again to milanote for sponsoring. And I also, hi, Pepper. You're being so cutie. And I also want to say a huge thank you to my patrons for being just effervescent and lovely. I did sell both of these on the little one-of-a-kind shop update I had this weekend, and they both got snatched up super fast, so I'm very excited to send these off to their new homes. I hope their new owners get a lot of good use out of them. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, patrons. I love you guys so much. I don't know what else I can say. I just think you guys are the best. And I'm very grateful that because of you, I get to try out all of these new fun creative ventures, like learning how to make freaking dice bags and making pouches and stuff. So, Miss Peepo, okay, yeah, she's wiggling all over the place and you can't see it, which kills me. But I'm going to spend a little bit of time with this baby, and I will see you in the next one. So, in the meantime, stay frosty out there, stay kind, get your flu shot and your COVID shot, and I'll see you on the flip side. We'll talk soon. Bye. Pepper, do you want to say goodbye? Or are you just going to wiggle around? I mean, you can say goodbye from there. Do you like the little table? Are you happy with the table runner that I put out, baby? Yeah. You freaking weirdo.